Sorry.
I'm calling this meeting to order at 3:15 p.m.
Damn, where everybody at?
No, literally.
We have 4 absences and 1 person, or 4 excused absences and 1 person that I don't know where they are.
Okay,
So,
cheers.
I just want to start off by saying thank you everyone for bearing with us. I know it's been kind of a hard few weeks with break in the middle of it and then doing virtual, and then last week we were not going to meet quorum, so there was no reason for us to come in, so we ended up canceling. As many people were sick because the bug is going around, so I appreciate that. I'm so glad to be back here with y'all. I'm going to go ahead and do roll call. Parliamentarian Adam is excused. Comms Director Bradley.
Yeah, I'm here.
Treasurer Geary. Here. Chief of Staff Brasinger. Oh, I don't know where. I messed up the count. I don't know where Kath is either. Does anybody have anything for Kath? No? Alright. President McLaughlin.
Here.
I am here. Graphic Design Coordinator Pugh.
Hey.
Recording Secretary Steiner.
Here.
DEI Chair Williams. I don't know where he is either. Yeah, he didn't say anything, I don't think. No. Yeah, I don't know where everybody is.
He's on his way.
Okay, cool. PPT Fornatero is excused. Damn, I really messed up the count, y'all. I didn't count him either. Senator Bell. Here. Senator Cebulski. Here. Senator Dixon. Senator Mahone.
Here.
Senator Reid. Here. Senator Ringo. Nothing for Senator Ringo. Alright. Senator Sala is excused. Senator Richards is excused. Senator Mendoza. Here. Senator Palermo. Here. And Senator Osteen is excused as she's out of town. With that, I will move to the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Senator Cebulski, do I have a second? Senator Reid, thank you. With that, the minutes are approved. All right, and next I will move to the approval of the agenda. Who wants to edit it for me? Who wants to edit the agenda for me? Because our guest speaker isn't here. Thank you, Zoe. Say it.
Hey, our guest speaker, Eden, isn't here. Our guest speaker.
All right, cut from the agenda. With that being, with our guest speaker being cut from the agenda, do we have a approval of the agenda? All right, do we have a second? Wonderful. Oh, by the way, I pointed to you, Mikey.
I figured.
All right. With that, I will move to not our guest speaker and to our first open floor. Does anybody have anything for our first open floor? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just cover real quick what Aiden was going to come to talk to you about. So Aiden has very kindly taken the initiative to create a petition to go along with the statement that we are looking to put out. It essentially will call upon students, will call upon the school to put out some sort of statement to the student body regarding what we are asking them to. I think it will be a useful addition to show student interest. It hasn't been officially put out. It's been published and is live, but has not been officially sent out to the student body, as I believe he was waiting to get some information, get some feedback from us, and to come along with our statement coming out. In regards to that, obviously he's not here to take any advice. But this was sent out to all of you, and if now or any other time during this meeting you have any suggestions for edits to this petition, please let me know, and I will forward that to Aiden. Really appreciate him putting this together. Very cool of him.
Does anybody have anything to talk about the petition? All right. If not, it was sent out to y'all in the email last night for Legbond. So if you want to take a gander at it and say anything about it, please do. If you would like to sign it, please do. It is going to be wonderful to go inside our statement that we are working on and hopefully voting on today as well. And with that, does anybody else have anything else for our first open floor? Hello? All right. If not, I will move forward to our reports. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Did everybody get a chance to read over the statement from the office of the president regarding the welcome back pioneers? There's the stuff about the DEI and federal funding immigration policies.
I glanced over it because it seemed like a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, I think everyone should read it and we should discuss it.
Can you give a brief synopsis for those who aren't
So basically, it said, "We remain steadfastly committed to our mission. We inspire imagination and creativity through experimental learning to advance society." They want to assure us that they are closely monitoring these developments related to the federal government's executive orders and policy changes. As we gain clarity on how these policies might affect our campus, we will keep you informed of any updates or necessary adjustments. We want to emphasize that as of today, nothing is changing at Point Park. Our core values to inclusiveness, integrity, innovation, and excellence continue to guide us in all that we do. Some stuff about freshmen, some stuff about seniors. Whether you're wrapping up your first, second, third, or last, make the most of the next 2 months. You gotta show up. And as always, our faculty and staff are here to support you. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need assistance.
Go Pioneers.
Go Pioneers!
Okay. Does anybody else have anything else for our first open floor? Nothing else for first open floor? Alright, with that, I will move to reports of the executive cabinet. Kyle?
All right. So I'll start first off with the thing I just did this morning. I spoke to Dean Palo regarding the issue of Starbucks being brought back to Point Kirk. I can thankfully say that from what our conversation brought to light, this was taken as a temporary measure to bring coffee back to Point Kirk during the time between now and the end of this semester. He wanted to clarify that this was not made out of malice, and that the people in charge of the new Point Perk program thought it was important to get coffee back as soon as possible. This is not us entering into any sort of exclusive deal with Starbucks, and I was told that at the end of this semester they will be looking to, and have already begun, the process of looking into new coffee distributors. As such, they are very open to us sending them ideas for alternate coffee producers. That's sort of where we're at right now on that topic. Rather, Mahone has a question.
Yeah, did he say anything about I heard somebody tell me that going there is not going to Starbucks is not going to profit off of it in any way. Did he speak to that at all?
He did not speak to that. It is my understanding that we...
Sorry, I know a lot about food service. What they do, copy during the back. Sorry, what they do is that they will buy the Starbucks product in bulk, and then they will use them basically until they run out. So whatever they already have is not going straight to Starbucks. It's going to whatever we use it for. Culinary is weird. I don't know how culinary works, but whatever they already have is already bought. You can't really do anything about it. That's why at the beginning of fall semester they had all those Starbucks products in the cafe for purchase, because they had so much of it they had to do something with it, and none of those purchases benefited Starbucks in any way. So just so you guys know.
With that being said, I still think it would be worthwhile for us to continue to push our stance that we do not want Starbucks as the coffee provider, especially if they are planning on changing that provider in the future. I know Nicholas Coffee was something that was in discussion, as well as a number of other providers. Obviously, I cannot confirm any particular new options, but I wanted to keep you guys posted on that. Additionally, we spoke to Dean Palo in regards to briefly in regards to the changes to our school's DEI policy. As of right now, he sort of reiterated what the president said, that Point Park currently has no plans to implement any changes. Our school council has not recommended it as of now. Obviously, things are open to change. I will also say that despite that, we have heard reports that the Roland School of Business is currently trying to change some of their DEI policies in a number of the initiatives that they are pushing forward. We are currently working on getting a meeting with Dean Tanzilli of the business school to gain clarity on what is going on with that. Dean Palo was not aware of this and did not have anything to tell us in regards to that. Last week, I met with all the clubs, not all the clubs, but I had a meeting with club presidents. 10 organizations showed up, very grateful. I also had a chance to speak to Kayla Brown from BSU, who was here, and will speak while we talk about the statement, more to that. I talked to some of them as well as some others about the statement, and it seems that there is interest in broadening it to include the topic of DEI as a whole. I know there was specifically interest that might have been brought up of including something in reference to trans issues. I think what is clear is that people are equally concerned about these changes to the DEI policies on campus and how those will affect our students. And rather than what I would think would water down the statements by putting out multiple so soon after each other, I think it makes the most sense to create a more comprehensive statement that puts that information out there. I will say I have unfortunately not been able to reschedule my meeting with the Chief of Police Basong. I've tried to find a new time with him and it just has not worked out. I am still committed to getting that meeting so I can get as much up-to-date information as possible, but that does not mean that any of you need to decide to delay the statement any further. But I did want to let you know that that is a piece of context that we will be missing. Me and Vice President Peterson have a meeting with Chris Brusalis as well as Dean Palo, where we hope to get more updates on all of this. Similarly, I briefly spoke to Dean Palo about an initiative, as well as a member of the club representatives, about an initiative that we've been talking about and that I've been wanting since I was elected, that being standing heaters in Village Park and other potential outdoor spaces. I think it would be really beneficial and give clubs and other groups around campus an excuse to use our outdoor spaces during the cold months, which are most of the months over here. I believe we've looked into options and they seem realistic, and it seems like we will be able to use the student activities fee without it negatively impacting student clubs. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We had meetings about our multicultural festival, as well as our banquet at the end of the year, which I hope you are all excited for. So keep an eye out for that. I don't have any updates on this, so don't get too excited. But we have reached out to the management team for a certain local Pittsburgh drag queen and drag race contestant, Lydia Butthole Collins, to hopefully speak at our Lavender graduation. That is not off the record. I'm talking to a camera right now. But that is an unofficial statement. We do not have any confirmation yet, but I wanted the team to know that that is in the works. As usual, I am sure that there are things that I did this week that I do not remember right now, and I will interrupt somebody else to bring that up later.
Alright. Since Chief of Staff Grasinger is not here and Parliamentarian Adams is also not here, well, actually, I think I have something for him. Let me look. Yeah, Arden just said that she has 2 revised constitutions for us to look at during new business, which we will do soon. DEI Chair Williams?
I have the spreadsheet for the purchasing spreadsheet for the multicultural festival complete. I factoring in the API's supplies.
Thank you. Anything else?
That should be it.
Alright. I skipped myself, so I'm gonna go back to myself. Like Kyle was mentioning about the School of Business, I've reached out to the Dean regarding having a meeting with him about the DEI changes, as we have been informed by Gieske and Palo that there should not be any DEI changes happening to our policies across the school at this moment. So we will be speaking with him hopefully soon. This week or next week. I have yet to hear times from him to discuss whether or not there are changes that are going to be occurring in the School of Business, and if so, why, and if so, can we prevent that from happening. That's kind of all we have right now, because it is just like in early works of us understanding what's going on, so that is why we are reaching out to him to get some clarification. Moving on from that, I have gotten confirmation from API, as Drew mentioned, as well as Latinx, that they will be at our multicultural festival this year, so that is very exciting. They will both have tables. As well, Kyle and I have made the form for the election applications for president, vice president, and senatorial seats for next year. It is important for y'all to know that all of these applications are open until the 21st of March. If you are currently holding a senator position and you want to hold a senator position again next year, you must reapply. It does not carry over if you do not reapply. And with that being said, the applications are available. Keelish will send out a social scoop that has the applications in them, as well as they are available on our Instagram in the link tree, as well as in our most recent Instagram post. And then, as well, we have a meeting coming up with other members of our executive cabinet to put together our elections board for the election, as well as discuss the organization of voting. Voting will be occurring the March 30th through April 4th, and it will only be open during that week. I think that is it for my report, so I will jump back to Chief of Staff Rasinger.
Yeah, so we have confirmed the date for Pioneer Community Day. PCT will be now Tuesday, April 8th. We are hosting it, hopefully, if the weather's good, up in Village Park. If not, the rain location is Lawrence Hall Ballroom, I believe.
Yeah.
We're reaching out to other clubs right now. So the idea is PCD originally was meant as a fundraiser or a service day. So we're gonna have little service projects. It's still gonna be kind of fun and cool stuff like last year. But the idea is that each club would kind of host their own little service project. You know, making cute things, fun things, whatever. And they would go towards different just organizations that are you know, collecting things and looking for help. So that's kind of the idea behind PCD. We're going to start planning, because that's in less than a month, so we're going to start planning the creative briefs and everything to get that stuff out, but I think it'll be lots of fun. It'll be 4 to 8 p.m., so if you guys are free, could definitely use the help. And then looking towards stuff, so that's pretty much it for my report.
Also, I just wanted to mention, if anybody is leadership in another organization and is interested in supporting one of the tables at PCD, Kyle sent out a form like last week that has all of the service projects that we are going to be hosting, and you can select your top 3, and we will try our best to place you with the one that you've chosen. So if anybody is interested in that, please fill that out or reach out to Kyle and I. Moving on to Recording Secretary Steiner.
I have nothing to report this week.
All right, with that, I will go to Treasurer Geary.
Hey everyone, y'all all should have gotten an email from me with the RSVP for the banquet. It is very important that you fill it out so that if you have a dietary restriction, I make sure I accommodate it. Please fill it out if you haven't yet. I think most of you have at this point, but just as a reiteration of that. It's gonna be really fun. We have some prizes, got some good food coming, and we're gonna celebrate all the work we've done this year, so make sure you're there. We'll be processing Spring 2 funding today, which is the last funding period of the year. Crazy. And I don't know if I mentioned this last time we met or not, but after we met with Dean Palo regarding the student activity fee disbursement, he let us know that there was actually an additional sum of money that we had access to that I hadn't been aware of previously. So I'm working with Kyle and Dylan and the rest of the exec cab to find appropriate uses for the new funding, like the heaters that Kyle mentioned, and some other things, including I will be getting us some merch items. Yeah. So yeah, working with B, and they'll talk more about that specific part of it. But yes, keep an eye out for emails or forms from me about requesting items and things like that. We're gonna have some cool stuff coming in. I'm excited. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. I will move to Comms Director Bradley.
Hello, everyone. So, for me, recently, the biggest things that I've been doing is that I've been pushing out Comcast as much as possible. I also posted the funding period for the second funding period. For second spring funding period, I posted that the other day, and last night I posted the open election applications. So if you're interested, I'm excited to see everyone who's interested in applying for everything. Other than that, this week hopefully, me and Senator Polero should be editing our Joey Young episode and getting that out this weekend. If not, it'll definitely be next. And yeah, it'll be very, very fun episode, and hopefully closing out the semester with the rest of our executive cabinet episodes for the podcast, and overall, you know, just keeping up on social media and announcing things. So yeah, bear with me, I'm a senior.
All right, with that, I will move to graphic design coordinator Q.
Everyone took my talking point. Not actually. So, yes, me and Elliot are working on secret potential merch that none of you guys are allowed to know about.
Oh, we know
But,
that.
yeah, I am kidding. But I have a little bit on my plate right now because I have a lot of graphics, so I will be outsourcing to comm committee to help take some things out. So while I'm updating the logo, I also created the SGA applications. They look so cool. You want to apply to be the president so bad.
They're
Not
gonna
too
be on the
much, not
screen
too
later.
much.
Look at the second page. Anyway, no, I'm just proud of having you.
You'll see them later.
Yeah, I miss you. But anyways, real talk. We have a few projects for the PCD Community Day, Pioneer Community Day. I will need help with that marketing, as well as potentially whoever wants to help design a tote bag, maybe. But then we also have Multicultural Festival. And I do have the creative brief for that. I will be working on that soon. I might just need someone to look over everything I make just to make sure it looks right and has all the right information, because I don't know why, but sometimes I get wrong information and I don't catch it to the last second. And then I did update the SGA podcast logo, as well as a few things here and there. But I think that's everything I have.
All right, thank you. PPT Fornatero is not here, so I will move to reports of standing committees.
Wait, I remembered my last thing.
Go ahead.
I brought the chatbot to SIC committee, completely forgot about that. Taught everyone how to use it, so I think we will be implementing it soon, because I think the program that launches it is free. So we have no excuse to not use it, and I think it's something that would benefit everyone a lot. Now I'm done.
All right, thank you. Since Arden is not here, I have the Rules Committee report, and they said nothing specific for committee members, but just a PSA for the whole group. If you have friends or you yourself are in leadership positions for clubs, please tell them to sign up for a time slot with Arden, Christian, or Sienna to do some editing of your constitution, just so we know that we have the most up-to-date version of your constitution in our files. That is all for Rules Committee. Finance Committee?
Processing spring 2 today.
All right, Comms Committee?
Just working on the podcast editing, otherwise we're pretty good.
All right, student in a... Who's the vice chair for student? Riley. What's up with student in a?
B shows chatbot.
All right. Wonderful.
They use chatbot.
Yeah.
Use chatbot good.
So good.
All right, DEI Committee?
That is very good.
All right, awesome. With that, we will move forward to reports of senators. Do any of our senators have anything to report? Senator Bell?
I have a meeting with Fiscal Plant tomorrow to discuss putting up bulletin boards in the Skywalk, bridging Academic Hall and Lawrence Hall, so that way we've got a bulletin board that's more within the walking areas of the student community. So that's just what I'm up to this week.
Thank you. Any other senators have anything to report? All right. If not, I will move forward to old business. For old business, we are once again looking at our SGA statement. I'm going to yield the floor to Kyle, and then we will take it from there.
Hey guys, can you pull up the statement?
Yep.
Thank you. So, this is obviously how we had it before. Yeah, so the big thing that we were talking about was wanting to re-add DEI, comments about the school's DEI policy. We thankfully have representatives from BSU here to discuss any concerns they might have. I kind of just want to open the floor to anybody who would like to say something about it. I also will ask Radhavan to remind us what the original reference he put into his first draft about DEI policies was. I will start with Riley.
CEH? I don't remember the exact wording,
That's so fair.
but it was essentially to look up what companies have been retaining their DEI policies and which ones have been rolling them back, and to boycott the ones rolling them back within your financial means.
Okay.
I was speaking to a couple members of our executive cabinet about this recently. I was suggesting that maybe if we put in a clause about DEI, we make it more specific as to us just being against the removal of DEI policies rather than specifically asking people to boycott and research companies. That was just a thought to make it a little bit more of a formalized statement rather than like something that would maybe be more of like a BDS post that we could make. So let me know what y'all think about that. Yeah, go ahead. No, you're
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that it makes it more focused, and if we wanna do like a separate thing on boycotts later, we can, but that should be separate.
did anybody else have anything? Yeah,
I think that's a great idea. I think we should also do like a little lesson on the importance of the DEI program and why it matter now and how we can get an open idea of the importance of it.
Yeah.
Because we talked about making this an Instagram story post, right? We can make that like a secondary following post.
Yeah. This is not like the exact way it would be written, but maybe there would be a way that we could say that we emphasize the importance of DEI and like value it not being removed, something along those lines, and then we can follow that up with some kind of educational Instagram story post or Instagram post, whatever you guys want to do. Yeah, Cass?
Just to clarify, is this a statement you're sending out to like the Point Park community, or is it like your own personal thing?
Yeah, so yeah, this is a statement we'll be sending out to the Point Park community and to the administration. It will be an official signed off SGA statement. We've done a few of these in the past. We did one particularly large one last year. It's just sort of stating the student government and all undersigned organizations' support for this. We've had a number of organizations sign off. I can name them right now, actually, because I have them pulled up a second ago. The current undersigned organizations following whatever changes we make today will be the Political Science Association, the BSU, Chess Club, thank you Chess Club, GSSA, the International Students Club, and the TTRPG Club, as well as the Yes Club. We are hoping to expand this, and we've already had interest from the teachers union to approve this through their means and to sign off of it as well once you put out the official statement.
So what I would like to do, if nobody else has anything, sorry, did you want to add something? Yeah, please.
I just wanted to say that I think because when I read it, it's mostly talking about ICE, which I think is very important. But I think to avoid overshadowing, like this, like if you put out multiple statements to hit multiple groups, it may overshadow the whatever. So I think you should generalize it and like, not like that this is not important as the others, but if you're gonna talk about like the two marginalized groups, you should talk about the other ones. It doesn't have to be like long drawn out type of statement, but I think if you added like you said, stuff about DEI and other things in this statement, I think it would be more beneficial and it wouldn't overshadow any other groups or, you know, other marginalized students. I think that including that in there would be really beneficial because I believe just from reading this, I can only see the two. I think if you just like generalize it, it will hit everybody instead of like making multiple statements, and that way you wouldn't be overshadowing or like, getting people's attention towards one thing and then not the other. I think also the students would benefit from being included in there as well, because it's a scary time.
And thank you for coming to talk about it, I really appreciate it. Did you have anything else you wanted to add? Yeah, Senator Bell.
I don't know everything you're saying. Are you suggesting that we offer it up to students to sign their own names as well?
I mean, as far as like
just including these other areas that are being attacked right now. So, like you all mentioned, the DEI, and obviously, like for BSU, that's one of our biggest like things. And since that orange man got elected, that's been really scary. Along with LGBTQ plus, like there's a lot of our members are like both of those things too. So like it's been really like scary, and I think if you include just those marginalized groups in this statement, as a general statement, like not to overshadow anything or belittle anything, then I think it would be more beneficial, if that makes sense. So there's probably students that would definitely sign this, like for sure, because it's protecting us, and the university might not necessarily like put out a statement, but at least like they know that we're looking at these things. And I think that if you just maybe add those things in there, then it will be like more powerful than what it's powerful, but more powerful than what it is, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
Thank you, Senator Mahone.
So like, are you referring to the bit where it's like the safety and well-being of the immigrant, foreign, LGBTQ plus students, or do you mean? Yeah. Okay. So like I wrote that part, and like my thinking when I wrote it was just that like those are the demographics that are like under the most like organized, deliberate assault right now. So that was just my thinking when I put that. I don't disagree with you though, and I think that you know, you're making an important point, and we should you know, we can expand it if people think that that's a good idea.
Like, not to say that this is bad.
No, yeah, no. I got you. I just wanted to explain my thinking because
Yeah,
I didn't mean to like belittle the
Yeah,
dangers of any other groups. Just that like.
yeah, I don't think this is bad. Like, I think this
Okay.
is good. The fact that you're making a statement, period, is just good, because there could be nothing said. But I don't know if you want to make multiple statements.
Yeah.
Like,
Senator, sorry, were you done?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry, Senator.
Maybe we make a blanket statement for all of the marginalized groups at the top, and then instead of mentioning like this group has been targeted in this way, we say in light of these recent actions. And then we list examples of that.
Right.
So my thought process, because I do want us to vote on this statement today so that we can push it forward. My thought process is that I would like to make the edit that Madigan just mentioned about changing the structure at the top to encompass more groups, and then maybe just one more small additional clause at the bottom that will discuss like DEI, its importance, and that we also stand against the removal of all DEI programs. If that is the change that everybody wants to implement, I'd like to hear about that now, and then if so, whenever we do vote, if everybody's comfortable with that being the change that's implemented, that will be the formalized version of the statement that will be voted on. Did you have anything else?
Just in terms of some like wording things, maybe for that top section that's more open, we say something along the lines of like, we call on the administration, maybe we can keep the, whether we want to keep the ice spray reference there or put it later in the statement, but as well as to put out a comprehensive plan to protect the safety and well-being of marginalized students just generally, or whether we want to say like immigrant, foreign, LGBTQ, POC, and other marginalized groups around campus, something like that. So, yes.
Maybe marginalized groups that are at risk of being targeted by these DEI rollbacks.
I could say I think that's might be a good like broad way to say that. Yeah. And then I think for when we specifically speak of DEI, I think maybe something on the lines of like we stand opposed to any rollbacks of our current DEI policies, and ask the school to continue to protect these policies within their ability, or something to that extent.
Yes, Senator Dixon.
This is more of a formatting and structural thing. I think it would make more sense to maybe throw a paragraph more general, because we put, if the first few paragraphs are talking about ICE, and then we're like, oh, and also DEI.
Right.
Like it's not, as cohesive as we thought, I think we could talk about, that we call upon the university and then get into both of them, to not make either one feel more important than the other.
Okay.
So maybe our the first paragraph is just that we call upon the school to create a comprehensive plan to protect marginalized groups that would be impacted by these DEI rollbacks and other policies. And then as a separate paragraph, we include the portion where like we also call upon the university to follow the city of Pittsburgh in refusing to unwarranted ICE raids.
Or you could say we could do this by,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
So, right, we do this by,
And I also want to make it known that even though I will have the vote occur today about whatever change we approve upon, I will be sending y'all the statement before B puts it on our formal statement document to put out on the Instagram. So everybody will have a chance to read it and probably like a 24-hour period to suggest any more editing before it is officially put out. Senator Mahmood?
Something that's now occurring to me, because I remember that there was a problem where there was like some people overhearing people like positively, like in a positive light, quoting that infamous like Nick Fuentes tweet.
Yes.
So it occurs to me now that like maybe in addition to like kind of talking about the more systemic kind of organized assault on just people that we make some allusion to, like we also call upon the university to have like a zero tolerance policy on like hate speech and hateful rhetoric and harassment, things like that.
I think that could be easily implemented into everything if everybody's comfortable with that. Okay, so with that being said, if there's nothing else to add right now, all of those things, I will take everybody's things into account that we've said here, all of the structural things, but it seems like ultimately we're kind of on the same page about what we want included. So if everybody is good with us doing a vote on restructuring this to have a more generalized paragraph at the top, the change of talking about POC students and DEI rollbacks and being against those and emphasizing the importance of DEI programs. I will restructure this with all of our implemented changes that we just discussed and send it out to y'all. But is everybody comfortable making a vote on this with all of those implemented changes today? If so, I will take a motion with all of the suggested changes to approve this statement for a vote.
I'm not sure.
All right. Senator Sapolsky, do we have a second? Senator Rangel, thank you. With that, I will take this to a vote. Can I have all of those with the implemented changes who, oh, sorry.
I mean, does it really make sense to run it if we don't know what it's going to actually look like?
The reason that I'm suggesting that we vote on it today is simply because it's been pushed back so many weeks and because I would like to put it out. That's why I want it to be known that our legislative body will have like at least a 24-hour period to suggest any changes. This is just a vote on the content of this so that we know what is going to be prepared to be sent out via the statement.
I think like part of the, like Dylan said, I think part of the vote would, I think like part of what we're voting on is with the assumption that that 24-hour period to suggest any changes exists. I also would suggest we send, if everyone's comfortable with that, we also send the statement out during that 24-hour period to all of the undersigned organizations as well for their suggestions.
I guess that if we're sending it back out to the undersigned organizations, maybe this isn't such a great idea, but I was going to say, like, we're here till 5, right? Like, would it make sense for us to just hash out the language now and get it over with?
That is up to our legislative body, but we do have 2 constitutions and spring funding and an announcement today. So that is part of the reason that I wasn't going to do that today, but that is completely y'all's prerogative.
Yeah,
Senator Reed.
I agree with you entirely. We have so much stuff we need to get to today, because I love to sit here and hash it up, because they're here till 5. There are multiple other things going on that also need to get done today.
We could also potentially, if you guys are open to voting on this, and if Kyle's open, we could hold an executive session at the end of our legislative body meeting to do the changes so that we could push this out and offer it up for editing today so that it could be formalized by like Wednesday to be put out. If y'all would be interested in that. What does everybody think about that? What would you guys prefer?
I was just going to suggest the executive meeting afterwards, so.
Yeah, and then that could be open to anybody that wants to come. That will not be a closed session if we do conduct that. And then anybody that wants to be there for the structuring of it would have the opportunity, but we would still be able to vote on it today. Do we want to do a re-motion with the executive session after, with the implemented changes to vote on this today? If so, can we have a motion for approval?
Yeah,
Do we-
I motion to approve the statement with the changes and the executive meeting afterwards to hash out the exact language.
All right, awesome. Do we have a second for that? Senator Ray, thank you. All right, with that being said, we will go ahead and move this into a vote for approval of, with all the implemented changes and the executive session to be held after, for those changes to be made, and with a 24-hour period of all of the signed organizations and ourselves to be able to suggest any editing that they prefer before it's pushed out. With all of that being said, and with all of that being taken into consideration, I will take all votes for those who approve of the statement now. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, with an 8-0 with no abstentions, we approve this statement with all of the implemented changes in the executive session to rewrite after the meeting. Thanks, guys. Yay. And thank you again to BSU for coming to talk. With that, we will move on to new business. Our first thing of new business is the Uno Club Constitution. As parliamentarian Adams isn't here today, I'm going to be looking forward to Kyle to talk about what Arden said about what the changes were to the Uno Club Constitution.
All right. Uno Club, sorry, I'm pulling up what I have. All right. All I have is general revision, adding social media manager to their officers, and updating the officer vacancy scenario. If Arden was here, I'm sure she would have some extra. I'm sure she would have some extra things to add. I'm not Arden. But yeah, PP Uno Club. They're getting a social media manager and protocols for if they lose an officer. So that's what we're voting on here today.
All right. With that being said, do we have a motion to move this to a vote? Senator Balk, do we have a second? Senator Rangel, thank you. With that, I will take all of those who approve of the Uno Club Constitution changes now. All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? What's your vote? Do you want to approve it? All right, wonderful. With that, it is 8 approvals and no opposed and no abstentions. And with that, the Uno Club Constitution update is I will move forward to the Tech Theater Club Constitution, which I will also inform Kyle about, so I'll give the floor to them.
All right, hello again, Arden here. Tech Theater Club. This is just a general vision. They're updating from when we were USG. It's an older format from our older processes, and I believe probably references USG within the referenced USG within the document. So very few meaningful changes, just kind of bring back to the future. So please vote on Tech Theater Club.
All right. And with that, do we have a motion to approve the Tech Theater Club, or move it to a vote? Senator Goff, second. Senator Ray, thank you. With that, I will take now any people that vote to approve the Tech Theater Club Constitution and its changes. 8, all right, wonderful. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Awesome, thank you. With that, the Tech Theater Club Constitution is approved. Thank you, guys. All right. Moving forward, we have Spring 2 funding. I will yield the floor to our wonderful Treasurer Geary to talk more about Spring 2 funding.
All right. Hey, folks. So this was the major part of, so we're all on the same page. Dean Hale informed me that we had an extra $10,000 to spend in our operating budget this year. So half of that was given to the Spring 2 allocations, just anticipating a lot of, from the rejections of Spring 1, we're going to have a lot of people coming back to us with similar and also new requests. We received a little over $10,000 in requested funds after combing through things that we weren't able to fund based on our policy, and largely that being the only reason because we had so much money to allocate. We have decided to allocate $6,320.84 pending approval.
Wonderful. With that, do we have a motion to bring Spring 2 funding to a vote? Senator Balfe, do we have a second? Senator Palermo, thank you. With that, we will move this to a vote. All of those who approve, what's the number? Allocated, is that it?
Yeah, that's
$6,320.84 for Spring 2 funding. All of those who approve now. Any opposed? Any abstentions? With that, Spring 2 funding with allocated $6,320.84 is approved. All right, wonderful, y'all. Let's keep trucking. We will now go to our second open floor. Does anybody have anything for our second open floor? All right, wonderful. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. I'll just say this. I know we already mentioned, but elections are open, or at least applications for elections are open.
That's an announcement.
Well, it's in announcements anyway, but I'm going to take this time to everybody apply for exec cap. And regardless of what you want to run for, even if you don't want to run for president or vice president, please take the opportunity to, for whoever wins, apply to be in the executive cabinet.
We can't apply to be in the exec cabinet.
Well, yes, but keep it in mind.
So actually, no.
Keep it in mind to apply for whoever ends up winning. That is
Apply to be a senator if you want to be an exec cabinet. Senator Miller.
Is anybody here gonna run for vice president? Okay, so I don't have to. Awesome. Never mind.
All right, not on the open floor. All right, anything else for the second open floor? All right, with that, I will move to announcements. As our wonderful president just said, our SGA elections are now open with our beautiful graphics by our wonderful BPU. So these graphics have been posted on our Instagram, as well as the link to the application for elections is in the link tree at the top of our bio. Thank you, Comms Director Bradley.
Move your mouse.
Oh.
Look at my design.
All right, so with that, I wanted you all to know that these are open. They are open until midnight on March 21st. If you do not submit before that, your application will not be taken for approval and voting. Like I said earlier, applications close the 21st, and voting will open the 30th through the 4th of April. That's it for announcements, unless anybody has anything else. Please apply to be the president and the vice president and a senator. Please don't let this organization die. I love you all so much. Moving forward from announcements, our next legislative body meeting will be March 17th, 2025. I hope to see you all there. And with that, I will adjourn our meeting and open our executive session upstairs in Student Center 717. And I'm adjourning us at 4:03 p.m.